म्हाका डेंजरय दिसता आनी फकत पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम राजकीय पक्ष म्हणून हांव पळयना म्हाका तातूंत डेंजर दिसता लोक पळय ज्या अपेक्षेन पळय पर्रीकाराक मतदान दिल्लें ते जर निराश जायत तांचे भितर जर विफलता
काँग्रेसी बरोबर एटलिस्ट अपेक्षा भंग नाशिल्लो
न्ही ते जर अपेक्षा जाय जर लोकशाय डुबतली तर लोकांचो विश्वास लोकशाये वयलो वतलो की आमी मतदान केल्ले तेय तशेंच आयले इट इज अ व्हेरी बिग इश्यू
अपेक्षा भंग
disillusionment with Manohar Parrikar is going to be very anguishing for people who have voted him into power.
हो जो एकंदर सर्वे जाला ताचे कडेन हांव एका दृश्टीन पळयता ती दृष्टी अशी की ह्या सर्वेन काँग्रेस मेन ऑपोजिशन ह्या अर्थान आणि बीजेपी रुलींग ह्या अर्थान दोगांयकी एक प्रकारची सावधगिरीची एक सूचना दिल्ली आसा बीजेपीक त्यांनी दाखवून दिला की तुम्ही बरेचशे सगळे स्लायड तुम्ही झाले पण त्याच बरोबर काँग्रेस आज ऑपोजिशन जे आसा की तुम्ही जर तुमचे कालसाम जर घट्ट ना केले कमर ना कसली तर वयर पावतले फुडें हे धरू नका
बेसिकली आय वुड से की बीजेपीची credibility has not come so down that Congress's credibility looks above it. At least till now.
Thing is, there are these two major parties. Yeah. But if the disillusionment continues with both parties, what is the alternative? And alternative is a chaos so far as Goa is concerned.
Which is exactly what has been happening all this time.
So that chaos should not be there.
You've been throwing up unstable governments for so many decades now because of the disillusionment with the political system. And my fear is that we will return back to that disillusionment and that chaos. That looks to be. This cannot be read as.
I will signs of disillusionment and chaos.
I will highlight an interesting slide.
Satisfaction less than 30%.
Yeah.
On almost every
round.
That
Okay, before we go to that slide, just taking this into account, I thought I'll just go to this slide. Now, we did another very interesting question as part of this survey. We went to people who claimed they vote for BJP last time and who they're going to vote for if elections are going to be held. We went to Congress voters also and at the same time asked them. The results are extremely interesting. We'll analyze it later, but I'll just tell you this. 12% of people who voted for the BJP have moved away, out of which 6% have moved to the Congress. 6% of people who voted for the BJP are saying they're going to vote for the Congress. The rest is 2 have gone to MGP, 1 has gone to Independent, and 2 others have gone to GVP and others. Now, this should be a cause for worry for the BJP in the sense that why should they be losing a 12% vote 1.5 years into the governance? But at the same time, one has to look at the Congress figure, and this is what will make the BJP smile and make the Congress also realize that look, the BJP is losing votes, but you're not gaining. For instance,
that's the point I made. Just
correct.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what we found, Ramakant here.
They alternative on Congress.
No. Because the shift away from the Congress is 21%. The shift away from the BJP is 12%.
Yeah.
The shift away from the Congress is 21%.
Dangerous. कारण आता जे ट्रेंड चालला काँग्रेस नाका जाल्यार एक रिजनल पार्टी परत येऊ शकता जी परत लोकशाहीची धुळदाण उडयतली कारण आता एक साश्टीन भितर एक ट्रेंड आता दिसतो असो की काँग्रेसीक उडयली बीजेपी सामकी निराश करता लोकांक सालसेतीन भितर बीजेपी बद्दल भयानक तीव्र प्रतिक्रिया आनी ही तीव्र प्रतिक्रिया जावन जर लोक जर प्रादेशीक पक्षाच्या वार्दान जर वचपाक लागले जाल्यार म्हाका दिसता इज गोइंग टू बी अ व्हेरी बॅड पॅच.
थर्ड स्लाइड पळया तुम्ही परत ती खूप इंटरेस्टिंग आसा ह्या डिस्कशनाचेरच आसा. थर्ड स्लाइड पळया जी आसा ती परफॉर्मन्स ऑफ द अर्लियर गव्हर्नमेंट. This is very interesting. So when we asked people about performance of the earlier government, 46% said it was good, 40% said it was average, and 14% said it is poor.
So how will Vishnu react to this?
Sujay, what is this? How will you do this?
See, I'll tell you what the issue is that these kind of surveys throw up very interesting.
No, but I'll tell you one thing.
But I've got
14% are saying that it was poor.
Now finally you are looking at the green block. Finally you are looking at the green block.
All that I'll explain to you. So the average of saying of those people saying that any government's performance is poor is almost the same. It almost remains the same.
That's right.
Not
so they are the cynics. They are the cynics.
So wait. So the other chunk decides.
So 14 to 15% people are cynics.
I think I would.
No, they are always against establishment. This is an anti-establishment section, we can say, of the population.
But then you head down, what is it, 86%.
Okay,
but they appear to be happy.
I would like to read this. I think this is a very interesting slide.
Yeah, it's a very interesting slide.
Because you have to understand that the voter or the person that they have questioned just doesn't look only at that question. He looks at his whole emotional package
Correct.
and then gives you
the answer.
Now, if you look at it as the good and the average bit, if you add up the two, I think for the BJP it was about 86, and for these guys it's 86, and for the BJP it was 89. So what does this mean is that for the Goan, or for the person who lives in Goa, the issues that they voted a government into power have not been solved, and so whether it was damn Congress or whether it's the damn BJP,
they are putting them on the same pedestal.
We are in the same boat.
They are putting them on the same pedestal.
So from the people's perspective, whichever government is there, our plight, amche paad padle. This is the whole. I think I would read this more this way.
I'd like to share, if I may.
Yes.
Just one more point, just to add to this, to explain. See, during the survey also, we internally broke it down into every constituency, every voter. It's a huge mapping exercise that we do. So, beyond this survey, there's a in-depth thing where we mapped every constituency and the response of every constituency, which led up to these numbers. And you'll be very shocked to know.
You have gone to every constituency.
They have taken 10 constituencies with different characters. With different characters, which will give a better sample and better results.
Okay. Now, the interesting part is that a lot of this disillusionment is actually coming from the north, I had mentioned. And what is very important is that a lot of people said the previous Congress government was better from BJP constituencies in North Goa who have these levels of frustration. I'll give you one example. In Mandre, there's a huge level of frustration against Parsekar. Now, so we basically went and asked him why. It's been 1.5 years. He's not done enough damage to warrant this kind of a response. They said earlier we used to interact with him. There was access and so on and so forth. Now, even if we have to go to meet him, we need to go through 3 levels. First, we need to go through a BJP supporter. Then we need to go through a PA. Now, my point is, if this response is coming from a certain section of people, and if even a portion of this is true, then I would say a lot of people in sheer frustration is saying, okay, the Congress was better. Because we don't want roads, we don't want hospitals, we don't want healthcare and so on.
Accessibility is very important.
At least we could have
तुमचे मध्ये गोवा झालं की सीएमआक सुद्धा फोन केला फोन ऑफ
exactly. That is the problem.
सीएमआची अपॉइंटमेंट घेवची पडटा
I have found it. Trying to contact him is a nightmare.
एक जण आमदार जनता मंत्री जाता किंवा तो सत्तेर वता ऑटोमॅटिकली ही लेवल्स ऑफ एक्सेसिबिलिटी तयार जातात.
No. This is individualistic pattern. त्या मनशाचो कॅरेक्टर त्या मनशाचो रिस्पॉन्स टू दी पब्लीक ताचेर अवलंबून आसा. आमी मंत्री जावन गेल्ले आसात. आमच्या म्हज्या बाबतींत तरी कोणें म्हाका अजून पर्यंत इश्यू काडून ना अवेलेबल
काय जाणांची गेल्या तुमच्या
ना
वचू शकता.
म्हजे कोतान कितें जालां भाजपा ही तशी पळोवपाक गेल्यार गोंयांत नवी पार्टी आनी भाजपाचे सदांच जे पळय वोटींग आसा ते एक तर लिडराक पळोवन किंवा ते सिंबला पळोवन ताका लागून जाता अशें की काँग्रेसीचें वेगळें काँग्रेसीचे प्रत्येक पळय जो कोण आमदार आसा किंवा ताचो फुडारी हाजो ग्रासरूट लेवलाचेर काम आसा पार्टी पेल्यान दवरून ते काम करूं शकतात. अशे कांय लोक आसात हांवें म्हजे एक फाटल्या आर्टिकलान बरयल्लें अशे कांय लोक तांकां पार्टी तिकेट जरी दिना ते इंडिपेंडंट रावन जिखपाक इतली तांची क्षमता आसा कारण तांणी काम केलां. भाजपान जाता कितें भाजपान विष्णू सांगता बरोबर आपूण हो सगळो पर्रेकराचो करिश्मा. फाटल्या वेळार ताणें लोकांक फक्त सूर्य आनी चंद्र दिवपाचें उरिल्लें ताणें बाकीचें सगळें कितें म्हणिल्लें ताका लागून लोकांनी ताका पयलीं मोठे आशेन मत दिवन ते सुरवातेक ताची म्हाका ऑफ होप सामको सकयल वतलोच कारण ताणें इतले अपेक्षा वाडयल्यात आनी इतल्यो अपेक्षा वाडयल्यात की देव सुद्दां जर आयलो जाल्यार त्यो अपेक्षा पूर्ण
करपाक शकना. नेक्स्ट स्लायड पळय ह्या अपेक्षांचेरच या सारकें तुम्ही रायट मुद्दो काडलो. नेक्स्ट स्लायड जी आसा की लोक सरकाराक चेंज हाडपा खातीर कितलो टायम दिवपाक पळयतात तयारी आहा लोकांची. 3 ते 43% लोक म्हणटात की ह्या सरकाराक जर कितें बदल घडोवपाक जाय राज्या भितर जाल्यार 3 ते 5 वर्सां लागतलीं. 32% लोक म्हणटात की 3 वर्सां भितर शक्य आहा मनोहर पर्रीकाराक. 5 ते 10 वर्सां आनी एक टर्म दिवपाचो ह्या सरकाराक बदल जावपाक जाय जाल्यार 9% लोक म्हणटात की दे वील नीड 1 मोर टर्म टू ब्रिंग चेंज आनी नो टायम 16%. ते तांगे परिस्थिती आसतल्या की नाकाच सरकार चेंज करा म्हणटा तुमी.
There are about 43% who say 3 to 5 years, 32% who say 3 years, and 9% who say 5 to 10 years. We'll not go into the 9%.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly, at this point of time, see, and this is what we've been discussing also, that at this point of time, the people of Goa really do not have any credible alternative. Let's accept that.
Yeah.
The issue is that if you go to South Goa, you will find there is a level of disillusionment. But at the same time, South Goa doesn't want to admit to its own self that they may have made a mistake. That is one issue. You will find that South Goa is going to be extremely silent. They are going to very strongly raise issues. But if you tell them that push comes to shove, would you want this government to go? They'll say no. Okay. If you go to North Goa also, the North Goa disillusionment is very, very critical, and I strongly feel.
I'll come to those.
We'll come to how the Bahujan Samaj is moving away from the BJP, and that's a very, very big factor. But you must understand that at this point of time, the people of Goa feel that after seeing so much of rocking the boat and false hope and so on and so forth, and the stability factor being a huge issue and governments being toppled, they don't want to get into a situation where a political churn happens at this point of time.
Okay. Nobody is ready for
change.
You are saying.
But I will draw your attention to that purple
16
patch of the pie.
16.
My point is, 1.5 years later, if you have 16% of any voting sample saying that we want a change now, and in Goa you know what 16% can do.
Yeah.
And that is something which I think we should need to.
Pramod, I think if Manohar Parrikar is watching this program, I just wish he looks only at this slide. And if there's just one thing he has to do is look at this slide and change it. Is that change his thing. That 43%, which is a pretty large percentage, says that it takes 3 to 5 years to bring about any change in the process of governance and systems, etc. So I don't know why on earth does Manohar Parrikar say that he's going to build a bridge in 5 days, that he's going to build a garbage treatment plant in 10 days, and he's going to,
when his
get the
electorate
regional
very well knows that this is the time that is
itself
required.
is telling him, Baba, take your time, but do it at your own sweet time, but please do it. So I don't know why he lifts people's hopes to that level and then comes crashing down in their lives.
I think Vishnu will agree to this.
No, I'll agree to it. But why don't you accept the fact that he has used this dictum in relation to certain promises that we had made to the people?
But they are not happening on the ground.
Wait. As far as removing casinos is concerned, he said give me 3 to 4 years. MOI issue 3 to 4 years.
3 to 4 years? हे केन्ना म्हळे?
पार्टीत चलल्यामध्ये असेंब्लीन आमकां सांगला न्ही 3-4 वर्साचा भाषावाद बी काडनाका म्हणून.
3-4 वर्सां भाषावाद काडप.
बरोबर he has realized it. Why he has criticized it?
Is this a criticism of Manohar Parrikar or a backhanded?
I am defending.
You can very well sense the sarcasm in whatever Vishnu is saying. And Vishnu, you are true to your conscience. I will say that. You are true to your conscience. when you
म्हाका
say
ही
this.
स्लायड पळोवन आनी एक गजाल दिसता की जो पळय कितें आतां डिस्कंटेंट वाडटा ती लोकांची एक वाडटी अपेक्षा एक मध्यमवर्गीय जो पळय आतां जो मतदान करून पत्रिकेर हाडटा मातसो ताच्या हातान पयसो जालो तो ताका सगळें जाता तितलें बेगीन जाय
बरोबर
पूण हांव जर ही जर स्लायड बारीक पळयत म्हाका दिसता लोकांनी धीर धरपाची गरज आसा सरकार उडोवप इज ए व्हेरी बॅड आयडिया लोकांक 3 ते 5 वर्सां फाटल्याय तुज्या डिबेटान म्हणिल्लें फाटल्याय तुज्या डिबेटान म्हणिल्लें
लोकांक वास्तवाची जाणीव आसा पीपल हॅव अ कंप्लीट रियलिटी चेक लीडर्स डोंट हॅव इट
Leaders don't have it अशें न्ही. Leaders also are well aware of reality. Let us be very frank. As politicians, let's be very frank. We are also very well aware of reality. प्रत्यक्षात जाता कितें जेन्ना ती जबाबदारी आपणाचेर येता पळय तेन्ना आमकां त्या हाची जाणीव जाता रियलिटीची. जेन्ना आमी नाचतात समज आमी विरोधान झगडटा हो इशू आतांच सॉल्व जावपा जाय म्हणटा हे सरकार चेंज करया म्हणटा जाल्यार जे क्षणाक आमी सरकार तें बदलुया म्हणटा आनी आमी जर सत्तेर आयले जाल्यार मागीर आमी 3 वर्सां म्हाका बरोबर तो प्रश्न सोडोवपाक बरोबर आसा. इज इट रायट? When we say that this government has to go on this particular issue, and then when we come to power, we say let's now.
That means your promise that you have a solution on the matter.
म्हणजे तेन्ना आमी जबाबदार जातात तेन्ना आमी वास्तव ध्यानान घेतात.
For a politician in his own interest, and this is for Manohar Parrikar, in his own interest, it's sometimes better to square up and tell the truth to your electorate that Baba, this is going to take time. This is going to probably take another 10 years to solve.
Example is mining. Mining issue सगळे लोक जाणात की 2 वर्सां मायनिंग सुरू जावपाचें ना. पर्रेकार कित्याक म्हणटा आतां सुरू जातलें सुप्रीम कोर्टान वता मायनिंग चालू कर जाय म्हणटा.
भाई एक गजाल हातूंतल्यान दिसता की ती म्हळ्यार मॅक्झिमम पीपल लोकांचो जर मूड पळयलो तांकां एक गजाल क्लियर खबर आहा की बाबा जर कितें बदल जावपा जाय इतलो टायम लागतलो आनी एटलीस्ट सरकार बदल करपाचो हो टायम न्ही.
सरकार बदल करपाचो टायम न्ही ही गोश्ट खरीच. आमकांय दिसता एज ऑपोजिशन म्हाकाय दिसता सरकार सकयल वड अशें हांव म्हणचो ना एज अ कॉन्सेन्शियस पॉलिटिकल एक्टिविस्ट ह्या अर्थान हांव म्हणन. परंतु जर सरकार परफॉर्मन्स जर करिना तर लोकांनी तरी कितें करचें. मायनिंगचो प्रश्न उबो जालो न्ही येदो व्हडलो प्रॉब्लेम निर्माण कोणें केलो. शाह कमिशनान फक्त फॅक्ट फायंडींग कितें सांगलें म्हणून तू संपूर्ण मायनिंग ऍक्टिव्हिटीज बंद करून उडयता 1.5 लाख लोकांक उपाशी मारता 3.5 लाख लोकांक तू
No, no, this is not fair. This is not fair, Kalaba. No, this, I have to intervene here because this is not just that Manohar Parrikar did it, Jayanti Natarajan did it. No, this was a political game to corner one another. This cannot be just put on one side.
let us